All right, ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody doing? How's your holidays going? Everything going all right? You doing all right? Everything good? Good. Let's get into this. Got a big show, folks. A lot of information. Go away for a couple days. I mean, these two are like gremlins. You know what I mean? They just keep multiplying in their nonsense. Listen, let's get to the psyop, okay? So, numero uno, we still don't have the tax. The tax man hasn't been fixed. Numero dos, the Portugal house all of a sudden has a problem. I mean, who would have thought that? Who would have thought that these two would miss $4 million, allegedly go buy something for $4 million, but then there's a problem with it. Maybe Jack Brooksbank, the part-time timeshare coordinator, manager, / princess husband. I mean, what in the what is that? Honey, I need to go get my real estate license. I mean, really, I'm marrying a princess, and I gotta go get my fucking real estate license. Like, Jesus, honey, come on, please help a guy out. Come on, something. Talk to your dad. Get me a job. He doesn't like you. He thinks you're an idiot. Listen, tell him I can make a hell of an old fashioned. Tell him I can make a great old fashioned. He'd love it. So they're having a problem in the Portugal house, which, if you go into the psyop, kind of leans towards, well, they don't have anywhere else to go. Things are going bad. This helps push them towards, the UK. Oh, Dad, please. Oh, if Jack sold me the foundation, I know I should have got a home inspector. I just didn't. I didn't know me needed it. I'm just a 40-year-old baby. Dad, I didn't know it. I thought it was a 30-day return policy. I didn't know it was a 3-day rod rescission. I mean, who knows what it is in Portugal? I mean, who knows? Anyways, look. So you've got that, okay? Then, so you got the courier saying that they want him to come back, okay? The Portugal house is having problems. But then, here's where the rubber meets the road. Every year, these two idiots don't want to go back to the UK for Christmas. They don't want to go. They'll tell you they're right on front. We're not going. We don't want to go. We don't care. We're not going. This year, they're dying to go. They are dying to go. They're clawing to go. Right? At least he is. And this year, they make an announcement. You assholes are not invited. Nope. Closed. Sorry. Capacity full. Oop. Last ticket sold. Bye-bye. Oh, but please. Oh, Paul, please. Oh, please. It's done. It's over, Johnny. Right? They come out and they say, you're not invited at all. Now, here's the other thing, too. Why would they want them to come back? Why are they in some desperate need of H in his brilliance or something? I don't know. Okay, now, the other thing I want to talk about is, all of a sudden, we've got Samantha Markle. She's all over the board. She's in everything right now. She's all over the place, okay? So, I figured, I saw this article, and I just kind of put a couple things together with this whole psyop thing that we're looking at here. Let's look at this, okay? This is by Jack Royston, and this was yesterday's article, okay? So this is out of Newsweek, and this was 1 day ago. You can see it right there, okay? Anyways, Shiesty Meisty's Thanksgiving with her father that didn't go well, okay? So this is going to tie in well to this whole, you know what I mean? It's festive, it's Thanksgiving, this talks about family and, how great these two are with family and their whole thing and, the whole deal. So Shiesty Meisty had a past Thanksgiving with both her divorced parents, but her father left early after a blunder that didn't go well. Now, H wrote this in his book, okay? First of all, does anybody believe H can seriously even type out or write out a paragraph without being distracted or bored? Do you really think he could sit down and pen a book? Oh, and not only that, I had another 500 chapters to go. Please. I'll never release it, though. The Duchess of Sussex said that she would keep her celebrations low-key, but hinted that she will see her mother, Dorito Conchito Gonzalez Ragland. Okay? By the way, nobody still knows where she was for 9 years. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows. But pay attention to this article, okay? Don't forget, this is coming out of H's book, okay? One family member she is less likely to invite over for lunch is Thomas Markle, her estranged father, who she has not spoken to since the days before her May 2018 wedding. Okay? You ready for this? The idea of Shiesty sitting down to eat with both her parents now may sound unlikely after hostile interviews given by him and years of radio silence by her. However, that is exactly what happened in November. Keep these dates in mind. 2016, weeks after H and M's relationship was first made public. I'm glad you brought that up. October. Okay, first of all, let me tell you something about this alleged narcissist. I mean, I don't even know why I'm saying alleged. My opinion. Let me tell you something. They announced their engagement on the 27th of November. Do you know what an asshole you are? To announce it the day before Thanksgiving? Of all, you could have waited the next week. You could have done anything. You could have done it a week earlier. They got to do it the day before because they want you to think about them on the day before. How can you forget their anniversary or when they got engaged? You know what I mean? You ever have a family member like that or something? They do everything. It's you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, right? Okay. Now, listen to this. So they went public with their relationship. Guess when they did that? Okay? The 31st of 2016. Frickin' Halloween. Okay? She didn't need a costume. But frickin' Halloween. Alright? So, Thanksgiving and Halloween. Okay? You with me? Okay. Was first made public. Right? They were not, however, at home, as both Meghan, Shiesty, and Ragland were being followed at the time by paparazzis and photographers and had taken refuge in the LA residence of a friend of Harry's. Okay? Now, also you're supposed to be under this impression that H has friends in Los Angeles that just have a bunch of empty houses sitting around. Okay? So you're supposed to be under that impression. By the way, the other thing is this, you cheap skunk. Don't get me going. Do not get me going. First of all, the whole nonsense bullshit about Tyler Perry giving him a place. He's a frickin' rich prince, okay? Please, you're telling me this guy... By the way, how much does it take to really go get a, you know what I mean? A place that you can hide out and nobody knows where you are. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't even get me going on that. Then he's got to have a friend give him a... I mean, this guy is so cheap. I mean, Jesus. Oh, I've got to protect Megsy. Oh, maybe I have a friend who has who has a bunch of friends sitting around with empty houses? You know what I mean? I know some rich people, they don't, their houses are just sitting there empty. Like, oh yeah, go ahead. Please live there. Move it. Oh, who are you moving in? Oh, her and her whacked out lunatic mother? Sure, yeah, move them in. Oh yeah, let them play with all the shit in there. Sure, go ahead. Please. H was on a merchant ship sailing around the Caribbean, having just joined Rihanna to promote the importance of HIV testing in Barbados. Okay, fantastic. I was only able to text Meg, Harry wrote, and only if I stood on the bench in my cabin with me phone pressed against me porthole. All right? First of all, this is 2016. World cell phones have been around since, I don't know, mid-90s? What is this guy talking about? You don't think they have a phone on the boat? This dunce? Is he that dumb? He's a prince who's rich, who comes from money oozes out of every pore of their body. This guy doesn't know about a world cell phone? I mean, are you shitting me? Oh, I can't get a signal out here in the middle of nowhere. Where's all the telephone poles? I don't get it. Where's all the satellite dishes? I don't understand. We were connected just long enough for me to learn that she was safe at my friend's house. Better yet, her mother and her father had been able to sneak and spend Thanksgiving with her. Okay, you ready for this? Listen to this is where the bullshit goes way south. Okay, you ready for this? Her father had brought a armful of tabloids, however, which he inexplicably wanted to talk about. That didn't go well and ended up leaving early. Now, put a pin in this, okay? First of all, this is 2016. Her dad has been in Hollywood, around the Hollywood business forever, okay? So she's in her 30s, so whatever. This guy's been doing it since he's knee-high to a grad, since he's in his late 20s, okay, please. However frick old that is at the time. You're going to tell me that a guy in Hollywood is buying First, nobody buys tabloids, okay? Nobody does. Number two, sure as shit Hollywood people don't buy tabloids on newspaper stands or whatever in the grocery store. And number three, this is 2016. You're going to tell me that, by the way, and then if somebody does buy tabloids, is it a man? Let me ask you this. When's the last time you've ever seen a man buy a tabloid in your life or read a tabloid in your life? Okay? This is 2016. This isn't 1991 here. You're going to tell me he shows up to go celebrate Thanksgiving with his daughter, and he brings not one tabloid like, hey, oh my God, you won't believe this article about an alien and Bigfoot had a baby. He's going to bring an armful of them. Does anybody buy any of this bullshit? The tabloids in question... Now listen to this. Here's a kicker. The tabloids in question would almost certainly have been full of stories about his daughter, who at the time had been fending off photographers. Now, my point is this. H is the one telling the story. She had to tell H that story. They, at the time he was writing this book, supposedly lived together. You're going to tell me that he couldn't have just said, "Oh, Bugsy, what were those tabloids? I'd like to put it in the book." He doesn't even know what the stories are about. He's writing this in his book. He doesn't even know, what most certainly would have been full of stories. Most certainly, you don't even know. You're writing this in a book. You're dedicating a whole whatever the hell to this about the big story arc between her and her father and how things started to go sideways. You're painting this narrative, and yet you have dick for details. And she lives in the same house with you? Stop it. This is all fake. Everything's fake, folks. One neighbor, okay, so then it goes on to talking about her neighbors and all this stuff and how they put, people were going up and down her streets, asking if they had information. One neighbor put a camera. One neighbor put, all this stuff on her and, towards Megsy's windows and all this stuff. She was afraid to go home because the paparazzi. I mean, no offense, dude. They're just photographers. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to do anything. What do you think? An armful of photographers? What do you think they're going to do? Take her purse? She's not in any danger. They just want to take her photo. You see what I'm saying? And this is a woman who her whole life has struggled to get attention. Do you see what I'm saying? Listen to this. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, her mother was being chased every day to and from her house and to the laundrette, to her work, to and from her work. She was also being libeled. Oh, another. Bugsy, get my Tony. One story called her trailer trash. Another called her a stoner. Shoe fits. And in fact, she worked in palliative care. She traveled all over Los Angeles to help. In fact, he says this. Who gives a shit what she did? What would that matter? Well, how is this any bearing of anything? To help people at the end of their lives. So let's say she didn't do that. Does she deserve any of this other treatment if this even allegedly happened? Do you see what I'm saying? Does any of this make any sense? Does it sound like somebody is painting a bunch of bullshit? With those kind of stories in the paper, it's perhaps easy to see why Shiesty may not have welcomed an armful of tabloids. Supposedly, which a grown man who's been in Hollywood his whole life showed up at Thanksgiving to discuss. Yeah, okay. At the time, theirs was a relationship of long distance, but all that came to the end until October 16th. In an exclusive interview in the Sunday Express told the world about their romance for the first time. Now, this is what I want to tell you. So on October 31st, 2016, that article did come out in the Sunday Express. Here's what's weird. On October 13th, 2016, an article came out in The Sun by Samantha Markle. So Samantha Markle got the jump on their story before they did. Let me know your thoughts on that. Hope you guys are all doing. Oh, by the way, let me say this one more time. This point right here. She couldn't go to her mother's house in Los Angeles because it was too surrounded by the Pops. Alone, adrift, she was on the break from she was on a break from filming, and it was Thanksgiving time. So I reached out to friends who had a house sitting empty in Los Angeles, and they generously offered it to her. Problem solved for the moment. Still, I was feeling worried and intensely hostile towards the press, building a narrative against the press. Everything's about the press. By the way, who gives a shit? Close your windows, shut your door. They're not criminals. They're just taking your photo and asking you questions. Pretty stupid, right? Then you've got Samantha out right now doing all her things, and somehow Samantha knew to break the story before they even broke the story. Maybe they had to break the story because Samantha already broke the story. Maybe it was forced. Food for thought. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Hope you guys are all doing great. You guys all have a great day, and who loves you, baby?
Who loves you, baby? You're beautiful.